welcome back. Me again. I bet you're fed up of hearing the sound of my voice this weekend for those that have been watching. Okay, I've got a lot to cover. Now, this might end up being one video. It might end up being two shorter videos. But I'll see how I go as to how I decide to either split it or keep it all together. I want to make some embellishments. So this was the first page that I wanted to make an embellishment with. So what I've actually done is I've pre-cut it out already, and I've got this pile of papers that I want to go through with you as well. But I've cut this one out already, and I'm going to make this into a pouch, pocket, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to fold this in, and make them overlap at the back. So put a little crease in there and a little crease in there, and just make sure that I've got the snowdrops centered on the front. Open it back out. Now then, I'm going to fold these eggs over so that they are not visible. Okay, and I'm going to cut off the two rectangles at the end and taper that middle rectangle. Now normally when we make these we do that and we do that and we glue that down and then that sticks over the top. But the problem that I've got, I need to taper that off a little bit more. The problem that I've got is that I don't want those eggs showing. So I'm going to put that bottom bit, that bottom flap, I'm going to put in position first. Then I'm going to turn that over and turn that over and stick that down so that you can't see the eggs at all. So then you end up with a pouch. Here's one I made earlier. So I've got a pocket stroke pouch that I can utilise in the journal, and I don't mind having two because obviously I'm making two of these particular journals. The next thing that I wanted to show you was these. I haven't made them up yet because I want to put them on the sewing machine. These are pages that I was practicing with in the week, and I glued on some greaseproof paper, but it was a white version that I'd got. And what I did was was that the whole page? That was the whole page, maybe. And I cut it in half up the middle of the page, and then I took the two pieces. So you can see here, look, I've got the greaseproof paper on the back, and I folded that up so that the butterfly was the right way up. So I ended up turning the paper around and then folded that over because this was sort of not really directional. And then what I'll do is I'll stitch around all four sides to make it into an envelope. And I did the same with this one. This one didn't have the butterfly on it, but what I did was I only folded it up a little bit and then folded that down, so this was much longer, and it makes a little sort of almost like a tuck spot pocket. But again, you can see here where it's not, that greaseproof paper is not glued down because I only glued it around the edges, didn't I? So with me cutting it in half, it's meant that that is now open, but it means now that I've got some little envelopes that I can attach to the journal. This is the next page that I want to show you what I've created with. But what I want to say, which I forgot to mention in the intro, is you might want to get a pen and paper to hand. You might want to put the video on pause every so often and just jot yourself some notes so that you can keep a list of everything that I've kind of mentioned. All right, this page. Now this page, you could actually enter it as a page in your journal by folding it, you know, so that you've got it as a page in your journal. But what I've done is I've cut mine out, and I prepared these last night, so I've already cut mine out already for you so that you don't have to sit and watch me cutting these out. And one I've already done. So this side I fussy cut it out and cut out the middle part. All right, this one I just cut it out as a slim rectangle, and then I've cut the middle out by curving round the edges. So I just snipped it in the middle and then cut around to be able to cut out the middle part. For those of you that order from my pop-up shop regularly, and especially if you've ordered seam binding from me, this is the bag, the cellophane bag that your seam binding comes in. And so what I've done is I've attached it on the back. Let me just take that card out. I've attached it on the back and just trimmed off the top bit, and I attached it with some washi tape. Get it in shot so that you can see. So that it makes a really nice pocket. Now the reason why I attached the washi tape on it is that these cellophane bags, or cellophane bags in general, can split really easy at the seam because of the way in which they're made. They're only quickly heat sealed so that it's a really thin seal. So that's why I've put washi tape over the top, and then I measured the space that I'd got left so that, and again this was from the scraps of paper from not yesterday's, earlier's video. I made it yesterday, the video. Today's Sunday. So these were from the papers that were left over, and it's wide enough to slot that into that pocket, that cellophane pocket. And rather than chop off the top bit here, I just folded it over the top of the bag so that it means that you've got a little bit of extra writing space. Now, as you can see as well, I've also folded this top edge up here because I'm going to glue that into my book so that that will flip up so that I can access the pocket. Right. But you'll see all of these in the journal once I've finished making it up. So that's another item made. This is my little box, by the way, that I'm keeping all my made stuff in. This one, I'm going to attach some acetate on the back. Now, you don't just have to use acetate. Obviously, you can use plastic wallets or any other sort of packaging, the plastic packaging that comes on the front. I happen to have, and I don't know whether you'll see this. What can I put it on? I've got some patterned acetate. I've just got this little piece spare, and I thought it went really nicely with this. So I'm going to cut it to size. So place it on the back, and want to extend it just beyond the opening. So that will be to there. Same down this side edge. Okay, now I'm going to attach this to one of the pages in my journal. But what I can do is I can leave it so that it is a top opening pocket or a side opening pocket, and it's important for you to decide which of those you're going to do, because that will affect me now adding some tape onto here to keep this in place. So it goes that way around, and I know it's that way around because it's got this straight edge leaf over here, and I want that way around. Okay, so I think I'm going to do think I'm going to do a top opening pocket. Yeah. Okay, so that goes on there. Now, I don't have to attach this all the way around because I'm entering something from the top of the pocket. I only really need to add something on this top edge up here. I'm going to put some glue on it anyway, just to keep it in place. So if I put a line of glue around there. Now, I don't know how strong Tombow glue is to hold acetate in place, but you could use your glossy accents as well. You could try that glue. So right way, wrong way. Slightly more vivid on that side, so we'll have that there. Okay, now I'm going to put some magic tape across the top. I have a feeling this is too wide, so I might have to cut it in half or thereabouts. And the reason why I'm putting the tape on the top, because that's where I'm making it as the pocket, is that it's quite easy to catch the top edge of the acetate. So putting the tape on, ooh, don't stick just yet. Hover, hover, hover. Make sure that's not showing at the front. No, it's not. Putting the tape across the edge means that this edge of the acetate is now softened, so to speak. So it means that when you add a photograph, picture, whatever, behind it as a pocket, it's not going to catch so easily on that top bit there. I'm going to add a little bit of tape down the sides as well. So we'll use that bit I just cut off. Just to keep it in place in case the glue doesn't work. Same on the other side. And I don't need to bother about the bottom. There's nothing that's going to disturb the bottom bit. Okay, so now I can add that to a page in my journal. I'll just get one out to show you. Put it on this white one. Now, if I was to put it on here, obviously I don't want all of this blandness. So what I could do is, I've got loads of tissue paper that I've either received something in or I've purchased. So I could actually glue some tissue paper onto that and then stick that on top. Now, the reason why I pointed out that straight edge on that leaf there is it means I can line that up on the edge of the page there. Can even go beyond just a little and maybe just trim that little bit of the leaf off. But that's what it would then look like in the journal. And then, as I say, I can load a picture underneath that, so that makes a nice decorative element. So again, I'm going to put that in my little box because I'm going to add all these things much later on. All right, let me clear my decks. I have a feeling that when I did the flip through of the video, I didn't include this page. And this page, so those of you that are keen and want to go back and go and have a look and tell me how many pages I showed you, this page I've made it so that you can make a three-fold. So one there, on there, so you've got a three-fold then, or cut them into individual tags. So there's a natural break in the design on the background. And if I bring it up closer, you might be able to see it better. So there's that natural line that I can follow to cut these out and make those into tags. Now I'm quite sure that you do not need to watch me making these into tags. But again, what I could do is lay that down onto a piece of file folder or something similar, print it off again, and then I could cut that out and add it as a pocket on top of the tag. The same with this and the same with this, and then I can decorate it up with other little bees floating about or butterflies floating about. But I don't think you need to watch me making some basic tags. I'm not going overboard on the tags, I'm not going decorating them overboard. I'm just going to keep everything really nice and simple. These are the next pages that I want to talk to you about. Let me just sort them out. So we've got these two pages in the journal. Now if you refer back to the first video where I gave you a list of instructions as to what I was printing my papers onto, these two pages I mentioned as printing onto sticker paper. I said, don't worry about it, I'm going to cover it. Here we go. So these two here are just printed onto my nice copy paper. Alright, do it that way. Now I've also printed this sheet out onto vellum, because it means that if I want to cut these out and add them onto a page, I don't want always that white outline and this being a solid block. I want them to merge into the page a little bit more. So if I cut that out and glued it onto a green sheet of paper, it wouldn't stand out as an extra piece that I've added on top. So I could fussy cut out the shapes, I could cut them out as blocks, I could get like a hexagonal punch and punch these shapes out so that they create some, you know, a nice sort of focal point. I've also printed it out onto sticker paper. Now my printer started running out of ink at this end, but I could still use these, and so basically that peels off and I've made then my own stickers. So that, I'll cut that out in a minute. I'll show you the next ones. So this one is a craft sticky back paper somewhere. Hang on, where's the, maybe it's a do it on the edgy one. There we go. So this was done on craft sticky back paper. So again, if you're making something that's slightly more vintage or grungy, you might want to do it on the craft paper. This one is a clear sticky back paper, and I got all of these off Amazon. Separate that so that you can see it. So you can see, look, it's all, but it's glossy, it's really glossy. But again, if you want something that has got a clear background to it, as long as you don't mind a little bit of sheen, then, you know, there's the clear sticky tape as well. Now the little, where have they gone? Little envelopes, all those pockets that I made, I could cut these out and stick them on the front here. So in fact, let's do that with this, using that white sticky paper. So we'll do that one in a minute. And then I've done the same with this page as well. This is on sticky back paper. So again, I can make my own stickers, but with this, with it being the border, means that I can cut that out and add that as a border on my pages. That's it on the craft. And that's it on the clear, the glossy clear sticky back paper. Okay, so I'm going to use that one and this one. Let's use the glossy one so then you can see the difference between the two. Okay, so let me just check height wise. Might put the snowdrops on the bottom of that one actually. So, all the crocuses. Ooh, eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Let's do the crocuses because they're a bit more colourful. So I'm just cutting it out roughly to start with. And then I'm going to fussy cut around them. Just a loose fussy cut. I'm sat here with my tongue hanging out whilst I'm consecrating. So that would look pretty on there, wouldn't it? Okay, so peel that backing off. Then I haven't got to get my glue out then. Put you on there. I mean, these are ideal to take on a journey with you to cut out because you can just decorate them up. And then, of course, I can add some words or anything else that I want to on the packet as well. But that gives you an idea of what it looks like when you cut it out and stick it on. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay. I want to... There you go. Now, if you remember, cast your mind back, when I ripped my tea-dyed papers, I've got these strips left. So I was thinking of adding it onto this little flip-out bit here. Just to give it a little bit of an edge. Now I want to ink that up first. So, let me get me doodads out. My silicone mat. My ink. Ink that edge up. Top and bottom. Then I would normally take my page out to do this, but I haven't got time nor the inclination. So I'm just going to put some glue on the back of that, the straight edge of that strip. And then I'll add that onto there. And it just gives that that flap open a little bit more of a distinguished look. Yeah, I don't know where that came from. Right, let's use the green one because that will match them with this. Do I cut it with scissors? Let me cut it with scissors first of all. the other way. So these now I can use like washi tape. Okay, that will go down on there. To the top edge. Okay, and cut that excess off. Excuse me, thank you. Yeah, I like that. So, there we go. Yeah, like that. I think I would have preferred it in on the off the white paper, the white sticky back paper, rather than the shiny. I think that this shiny will work better with, you know, cutting out small elements like this and just sticking them onto the corner of a page just to break up the monotony of it. So, you know, if I cut out that little watering can and just stick it on the bottom down here, I think that that works better. And then I think I'd have the white paper rather than the sticky. I might even peel this off and replace it with the white. It's curling it a little bit, which I don't like. So yeah, I'll replace that, but you get the gist of what you can actually do with that. And I'm going to make another quick embellishments video for you to watch using the last page that I'm going to discuss from the digi kit. So I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye for now. Bye.